Hmm. So can you go into that a little bit more about the store value is more valuable than a payment network? I know you just touched on it
Sure.
briefly with
Yeah.
the Visa being
Easy.
$700 billion, but
So what would you pay more for, a car or to transport the car to you after you bought it? You'll
oh,
always
that.
pay a subset of the value of the thing you're transporting for the
Hmm.
transport of the thing. So by definition, you're always going to pay less for a payment network than you are for the stuff that you're moving.
Hmm.
So stores of value, which is the goods that we care about, are always going to be more valuable than transporters of value, because transporters of value and money itself is just a proxy for the actual things that have value, which are goods and services. So only goods and services actually matter. Money and payment networks are just accounting systems and transactional systems that we use to help facilitate the actual goods and services that really matter. So if Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are just a big giant distributed Ponzi scheme that pumps and dumps over and over and over again at larger and larger values until they've onboarded enough users to change the world, that's better. That's fine. There was no other way you were going to get there. How else would you get there? Facebook coin? You think Facebook coin is going to be good to you? You think Facebook coin is going to do you a solid? Facebook hasn't done you a solid. Facebook coin isn't going to do you a solid, right? So, this oscillating speculative bubble may be the only way to onboard the planet onto peer-to-peer digital finance that removes government's power over man to some degree. So,
Did you always think this way when you were looking at Bitcoin at $1 and you bought it in at 30? Were you always in this mindset, or was that an evolution throughout looking at this, going,
if you want to
this
make
is never going to happen?
if you want to make the world a better place, do medical research.
Hmm.
Buying crypto and making more money, or trading and taking money from other people, you're not making the world a better place. Now, I got a BitMEX link that'll give you 10% discount. If you're going to waste your money and waste your life, go ahead and do it on my referral link. But richardhart.win. If you have the option to do something better with your life and get rich anyway, you should do that. If you're a rich guy and you want to play in startups, do biotech startups.
Hmm.
If you're a rich guy and you want to donate to charity, donate to the Sens Foundation. They might help build the medicine that will save you or your children's life. If you want to actually make the world a better place, what we need is medical research. That's what we need. My grandparents died. I did nothing for them. My parents aren't dead yet, but they probably will die soon, and I haven't done much for them. My dog will die, and then I'll die. And at what point do you realize this money shit, it's not changing that much, right? You're eating the same restaurants, you're watching the same movies. What are you doing with the money? Spend it on the research that'll save your fucking life. That's the next step. Like all this crypto stuff, it's great, but it's not truly saving lives. Medical research will, so that's my next project. That's why that book, the free books I wrote, are called Sci-Vive, like how you can survive through science. Basically tells you how to do everything, how to get rich, how to get laid, how to have fun, how to learn better. Everything that I know, it's in the book. It's free. You just go to t.me/Sci-Vive and you can download it. Then there's another book I wrote called Fix the World, which is more political stuff that you can't personally do, but matters, right? So systematic stuff. Educational system, political system. How can we fix those systems? Most people can't move the levers to fix those things, but someone can. So maybe that knowledge will get to those people.
Tell us about that medical research. Like you said, you want to go and start doing that instead of cryptocurrency, or both at the same time. This is how you're actually going to help people. What is that?
Well, people don't understand. The meaning of life is quality times quantity. You can improve the quality of your life a little bit, but you're the limiting factor. If I gave you a 2 or 3 times better cheeseburger, your taste buds aren't good enough to notice the difference. If I played you a song that's twice as good, there's no such thing, because you're the limiting factor. So we've reached diminishing returns on how good perfumes can smell and how good food can taste. And so if you want to get a 10x higher quality times quantity of life, right, the product of your life, you can't do it with just quality. You need to extend the quality, the quantity, right? So can I get you 10x extra years of healthy life? Yeah, I can. Our science sucks right now, right? But we could get you an extra 200, 400 years of healthy, enjoyable life. And if you got bored with it, you could shoot yourself in the head, right? Now, people think that they're going to get bored, but it's not true because our memories aren't that good, right? We get bored of stuff we remember really well. Your memory ain't that good. What'd you eat for lunch, last Wednesday?
Yeah, who the hell knows?
Got to think about it for a while, right? And is lunch going to taste good tomorrow, even though you've had several thousand lunches? Yep, it is going to taste good tomorrow. So, people believe that. Imagine if like Alexander Graham Bell and Thomas Edison and the greatest researchers and inventors of all time didn't die right when they're at their prime, at their peak, which is the history of science and progress now. As soon as you're the best you've ever been, your brain starts deteriorating and then you fucking die, right? It's terrible. It's a huge waste. So we will inevitably have longer, healthy lifespans. If we cured aging entirely, you'd still die at 600 by accident, right? So you're not going to be immortal. You're still going to die, but you're just going to be really, really healthy until that day that you die. That is going to be the case for mankind at some point in the future. The question is, will it occur before you rot and turn into worm food? Or are you going to be the guy that dies right before it gets fixed, right? Because you only need to cure 1 year a year. It's called longevity escape velocity. If you can cure 1 year of damage every year, you're good to go, right? You're going to die by accident and not just decaying and falling apart. It's so stupid that every one of us knows that the Grim Reaper is coming for us, but we just pretend like it's not happening, which is a good strategy before you could do anything about it, right? If you couldn't do anything about it anyway, well, sure, don't think about it. It's a waste of time. But we can do shit about it now. We really can. If we have more money spent on that and less money on F1 racing, more money spent on medical research and less money going to Mars.
How do you think that longevity of life is going to change society? Like, if people are living to say 100 or 200 years, it's going to change dramatically. I mean, if a woman has kids in her 30s or 40s, they'll get old. Even having kids is a distant memory. How retirement's going to move back? We're going to just change society. How do you think it's going to?
Well, we've already doubled or tripled lifespans over the last couple hundred years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, how much did that suck? Seems to have worked out pretty well.
Did we really double or triple? Because people were still living to the same age, 80, 90 years.
I think we get
more people are now.
I think we get like a year every 10 years. I think we live like a year longer, healthy lifespan every 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we should have got, over the last 200 years, we should have got about 20 years of extra life. So if we die on average at 80 now, we died probably on average 60 then. And you can look these numbers up, right? If you go back far enough, people just died in their 20s.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. But there are the outliers that did live till their 70, 80, 90.
Right. Let's just assume it all sucks horribly and terribly. It is inevitably going to happen anyway. It is going to happen. So do you want to be around to see how it sucks? Or do you just want to fag out and just die early because you're a pussy? I might not like it. I better die of this sucky thing or whatever.
Oh man, I want to live to as long as I can.
Yeah. Health span, right? How long can you be healthy? If it sucks, call it quits.
This has nothing to do with blockchain or Bitcoin, but I want to bring it back to blockchain because we kept on talking about cryptocurrency. Bitcoin is failed as a currency. Do you have the same ideas about blockchain or these blockchain startups as well? Is blockchain
They're far worse.
They're the worst.
So cryptocurrencies have a reason to use a blockchain.
Okay.
A blockchain is an extremely, extremely bad database. Sometimes you can't write to it. Sometimes what you write to it gets forked off and disappears. It's extremely slow. Bitcoin does 3 or 4 transactions a second. It's extremely expensive. It's extremely wasteful. If you want the slowest, shittiest database in the world, use a blockchain. Now, who are the only people in the world that benefit from using such a terrible system? People that need censorship resistance. If people are trying to censor your transactions, blockchain is amazing. It's the only thing we got. It works. It's been working for 10 years with 99+% uptime. Try doing that with anything else. You can't. Mm-hmm. So all these startups that do digital ledger technology, they do not and should not be using a blockchain because no one is trying to censor their transactions. So if you want to take an engineer's perspective on this, the National Institute of Standards in the United States, NIST, created a document on blockchain that has a flowchart on it. And it says, do you need this? 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 And it gives you all of your options, right? And then finally, after all those, it has blockchain. So you only need a blockchain if you don't have anyone that you both trust. If you both have someone you trust, you can just trust that guy. You need immutability, and it just goes through the whole list, right? So if your project needs censorship resistance, use a blockchain. If it doesn't, which the vast majority do not, it's the worst product in the world to add to your